tonight work on array functions. We will start with objects followed with wrangling. So, yes, guys, requesting your attention. We will be done with this. Please observe this code closely and tell me what correction is required. We have a list. And the list is nothing but an array holding colors, red, pink, rose, purple. So we are traversing all the value by using map and we are converting it to uppercase. So map is used to traverse with all the value mandatory, no filter, nothing. And transforming the value, all the value gets transformed to uppercase. Again, I am applying filter. Again, filter is also traversing with all the value and filter wants to return whichever the value starts with R. But we are not getting the expected output. Instead, it is returning an empty array.
Is
There
it
is a small correction.
because of brackets, no?
Brackets are okay. If it is one value, brackets are optional.
And capital
No,
letter.
for array, we are using square brackets.
Curly braces is also optional. If it is one single line. Yeah. Somebody said something. Array?
Curly bracket, curly capital letters.
No, dear.
Ma'am, where in value open and close in this point after filter.
Chain.
What? Chain is not required. No. Where you are telling?
Should be. I'm saying
After value.
After value.
Close the bracket. I mean.
It is closed here.
Yeah.
So it is closed here. This is also optional.
We did not
Because I
pass
have-
parameters.
Yes, Tejas, tell me.
Did not pass parameters.
Where?
After filter list is equal to.
Filter list is array.
No. Here no, not when that late filter list.
No. Why I want to pass? Here it is list.map. So it will take list. Sorry. And it travels with all the value. Of course, we have not tried a demo program with this angle, but no problem. You can still think. So I'm just comparing with Java. So let's see you are getting an idea or not. String name is equal to Anuj. Name dot. We have two uppercase or two upper. What was a function to convert to uppercase?
To uppercase.
Yes. Capital Anuj or uppercase Anuj or small letter Anuj?
Small letter Anuj.
Why?
Because we did not give that variable to store that name dot uppercase.
So for everyone, I have variable. I'm just comparing with Java so that you can think in such the way to resolve the problem of the program. So I have name Anuj. So name string function I'm calling to uppercase. So when I call this line, when the instance is there in 6th line, it converts name to uppercase. Anuj will be converted to uppercase Anuj. But we failed to store that uppercase. Again, if you try to print, it will print only small letter Anuj. The solution is whatever I'm converting to uppercase, it needs to store in name. So now you think. We don't have problem with map. We have a problem with this filter block. I am traversing with all the value and I'm checking whether it starts with R. The correction is what keyword is missing?
Return.
Before the filter, ma'am.
So before this value dot starts with R, you need to use return keyword. So my filter needs to return whichever the value starts with R. That alone will be stored in filter list. The correction required is you need to add here.
Not
Return
filter, before it.
here. So I need to return only the value starts with R. Then only it will be filtered list will be stored with red and rows. Is that clear?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can ask me a question. We haven't tried in the morning. What we tried in the morning? We tried like list dot filter of x dot starts with R. This is different from this. Can you relate? Here by default it traverses with all list values. It will take red. So we are checking red starts with R. If the condition true, it returns true. Then we are storing it, we are taking that value alone. Then it will take pink, rose, purple. Out of that, whichever the condition returns true, we are storing that. Here it is filtered list. I am not traversing. Already I traversed. From this, I'm getting only red and rose. In that, if I want to return only those values starts with R, return keyword is must. Check what will happen with or without red. Return. Shall I go to next topic, objects? And more theory on object is familiar to you, to all of us, because we came across on powerful object oriented language, which is Java. So like other programming language, especially I can compare with Java, as we all came across with Java programming language, we can compare object concept with JavaScript also. Whatever we discussed with object, what are all the points we discussed with objects in OOPS language like Java? What was the first point I said in object?
It's an instance of a class.
Before that, what was the first point I have introduced when I start with object? Objects are, what are you doing, guys?
Real world entities.
Did I said this word as my first definition for objects? I said you are sitting in your house. Whatever the thing you are seeing in front of you, everything falls under the category
Objects.
objects. So all the concepts are same. So all are real world objects. Objects consist of, you can relate here, attributes. Attributes are properties where I can store the data. If you take car is an object. Car consists of color, engine, wheel. I can give color, blue color, whatever the engine. Number, data I can provide with attribute. Behavioral of car, functions can be provided with the help of behavioral part. Functions are properties, behaviors. Those rules are applicable. Only thing is here we are handling as key value pair. So again, object is a collection. So object is a collection of properties. Each property is associated with key value pair. So that property can also be a function. Here, few differences are there, minute difference, handling wise. Theory wise, it's same. Handling wise, object in JavaScript, you have objects are nothing but collection of properties. You will be using curly braces. Each property will have key value pair. Property can also be a function. So whatever we discussed in theory, let's apply in practical. So before, I would like to show you two different ways of object creation. Oh my God, it's not there. Okay, I will show you, no problem. So property is associated with key value pair. So how we are initializing an object in Java. Likewise, in JavaScript, we need to initialize. So my car is an object name equal to this curly braces indicates object. So each object property, Honda, ZXi, red 4R properties, all the property you have to provided with key value pair combination. So my car is an object holding the first property type, second property color, third property wheel. What is the speciality of fourth property engine? Engine is also a property, but it is not holding a single value. Again, it is holding what? Another object.
Two objects. Cylinders and size.
Cylinders and size. You can take a snap of this. You can try. So I'll try with employee or some other thing. So this is also possible. How we have array of array. Likewise, I can have an object inside object. I can have one property as one another inner object. So we have so many ways of creating an object. This is a regular way by using direct initializing. The other way is initialize in constructor. Constructor is supported in JavaScript. So whatever the rule we discussed, the same thing is applicable. Same name as class name. Here we don't have constructor separate block. We will use function as a constructor. So I have two objects. Please look into bottom to top approach. I have Jack car and Jill car as an object. This is an object. Both the objects belongs to car class. So I will be initializing a constructor. I'm defining a constructor. I'm initializing all the values here. So under that, the fourth will be an engine. Engine is holding cylinder and size. And these two values will be passed to an engine constructor where cylinders and size will be initialized. Okay. So I want all of you to take a snap of this, slide, creating an object using initializer, creating an object using constructor. Try the same. Try to print all the objects. So this is my car object. You try to print either be on console window or your HTML page. Here you print Jack car and Jill car, which both are objects. So let us model the below cars using object. I will not do this. I will do with different example. I want you to try this. You remember what are the three objects in the previous slide? The first one via direct initialization. These two via constructor. So totally three objects I want all of you to create. So I will show you with different example. What can I use? Tell me any object name, guys, where I can record the data.
Like
Phones.
Come on, guys. You try with car. I'll give you time after my demo. So I thought let's try different demo. I'll go for book.
Author and book, ma'am.
Author we will create as an inner object. Shall I? Let is optional. I'm leaving. So always object has to be created with the syntax. Curly braces, the holding key value pair. So let me take, guys, what I can take. Then let me go for regular way. So what is this? This is direct initialization. Please pay attention what I can give. So let me give book ID. So always key will be enclosed within double quotes. So let me give book ID as 2001, comma, book name. Intro to Java. Can I give author details?
Yes, ma'am.
Whereas here I'm going to give as again one another object. So author name. Author pen name. So this is direct initialization. Let me print book 1. So shall we use constructor for book 2?
Yes,
So let
ma'am.
me give book 2 is equal to new book of, you pass all the values. One minute, it started. 1 second.
Ma'am, should we need to write book ID in double inverted commas?
Okay, let's continue with the constructor initialization. This number, no, you can give directly. So you can give intro to HTML and CSS. And the third parameter will be author name. Tim Berners. Author pen name.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, do we need to write this book ID in double inverted commas? Or a book name in double inverted commas?
See, JavaScript is less error prone. Even if I don't go for double quotes also, it will not throw an error. But very soon we will touch JSON format. So when it comes to JSON, serious note is always the key. It can be even a number, always the key should be enclosed within double quotes. Have this practice.
No, ma'am, I just recall yesterday we used it
But
without double
that's
inverted
what.
commas.
Soon, not tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, we will touch and we will work on JSON. So have this practice. So go for irrespective
ma'am.
of any type of key. Always, even I can use number also. Here I can use 1, 2, 3, but go for double quotes. Have this practice.
Okay, ma'am.
Using constructor initialization. So no special functionality for constructor. Constructor is also comes under function. So let me define author. So author is holding author name, comma, author pen name. So what is the keyword used to initialize class variable?
This.
Same you need to use here. So author name is equal to whatever the author name you are passing, this dot. Author pen name is equal to author pen name followed with my book. So book consists of book ID. I can give any different name. So this dot book ID is equal to ID. This dot book name is equal to book name. The last one. Think author name, author pen name. These two things I'm gonna to initialize in first object. This dot author 1 is equal to new author of author name, comma, author pen name. I think it works. Let me copy paste this. I'm writing everything on my HTML. If you want, you're familiar with console, you use. Don't have problem. So book 1 is direct initialization. Book 2 is via constructor. That's all. Why I'm not getting? It's not displaying because this prototype. I'll check this. Give me a minute. It is not displaying in my by browser. It is just displaying as an object. Yeah, of course, book 1, book 2, both are object. I will try the same in console. So use console for displaying this object type because my HTML document is not taking these objects. So prefer this console. So always in order to test your JavaScript, that too particularly this object, you can take this. Okay. So what was the first one, which is book 1? The other one is book 2. So if you take direct initialization, my machine is taking only object type. Whereas if you are initializing as a constructor, it is taking book class type, book type. So the first one is author holding all the Java book details. Whereas the second one is holding all your HTML and CSS book details. Have you read about this prototype? Yesterday, even I introduced this prototype. The word prototype comes after your array and object. Anyone? Have you studied on this, the word prototype? We will have prototype for array and we will have this prototype for object. Yes, Priyanka.
It is associated with every function.
It is associated with every array and object. Don't say function. If you take array, all your array methods, all its syntax and definitions, everything will be associated with array, will be under this prototype. Likewise, tell me what are all the things associated with object? Come on, guys. That's all. What are all the things associated with object? Starting from constructor, getter, setter, toString. Maybe these things are new to us. Value of. If you open for array, if you try to print an array in console and if you check, it will list out all the array functions. So, all right, I tried for this book. You try for this cars. And explore on this prototype. This is one interesting thing about object in JavaScript. I have created user object. Can I add some other properties later? You take this. I have initialized book 1. So after some time, by using book 1, book 1 dot
Price.
Engine type is equal to petrol. Will it take? I'll show you the output. I'm sorry, I should not take engine type here. What I can take?
Price.
No, I didn't get your word. Can you?
Price, ma'am.
Price. Price is equal to some 250 rupees. So I initialized my book. Can I add another property, price, and I can have value? You tell me yes or no after seeing the output. Valid or not?
Valid.
Yes, ma'am.
It is possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. After some time also, I can initialize any new property. Yeah. So working on complex data structure, which is nothing but introducing array of, we started with array of array and object inside another object. But whereas the other category, array of objects, array as an object property. Is it possible? You look into this first category, array of object. What was this product? What was the symbol we are using here? Product is considered as?
Array.
Array. So inside product, the first index is holding one object. 0th index, product of 0 is one object. And the product of first index is another object. Please look into this. And if you take the right hand side, what was this employee? Employee will be considered as an object. Under that, we have property, employee ID, employee name, email ID, contact number, and language known as one property.
Array.
Whereas it is holding an array. So I will not try. You try this, or you try with the existing example. And then we will start with wrangling. Okay. So I'm giving you hardly 10 minutes time. You can take a snap of this, or I will share the snap. You start with this engine, my car and Jill car and Jack car, and try to print all the cars. And you can try this. Quickly complete it. Just practice it so that I want you to settle down with this object category. So that's it. And we will be getting into the last actual topic, which is wrangling of data by using array and object. So before wrangling, all of you needs to familiar with array and its function and its object and the object handling.